get to my interview with the two sisters who in only 9 months made TikTok their primary source of clients, I'm going to add a new element to my introductions. Beginning today, I'm going to periodically share a social marketing tip or insight with you. These learnings will come from my past interviews. I've done nearly 50 of them now. Visits to hundreds of lawyer profiles and managing the organic social profiles of over 100 lawyers. So most of my suggestions, they'll be short, but today's recommendation runs a little bit longer because of its value and because of its size. So here it is. The single biggest success variable in organic social media is topic category. Creating videos, carousels, posts in topic categories, which have proven successful for other lawyers, will materially increase your odds of organic success. It's true. If you don't want to stray outside your specialty, begin with these 5 first. 1, war stories. Not only are these interesting to lay people, but they demonstrate your experience, your expertise to prospects. Surprisingly, few lawyers on social media provide them. It seems like a no-brainer, right? But it's true. The ones who do are receiving high views, high engagement. Number 2 idea, related life advice. Family lawyers can give advice about relationships, employment lawyers on dealing with difficult bosses, difficult coworkers maybe, business lawyers on partner issues, estate lawyers on succession, so on, so on. Number 3, language tips. Every day, lay people respect lawyers' communication skills. You can talk about how to stop interruptions, convey bad news, how to disagree agreeably, argue like a pro, and the like. Number 4, replies to followers and FAQs. If you have a lot of followers, you'll receive questions after posting, right? That's part of that engagement. Answer them in future videos or future posts. If you have few followers, pose and respond to questions you regularly receive from clients and from prospects. Answer those common questions you get. Number 5, newsjacking. We've heard this over and over again from my guests, right? Next time a dispute, a lawsuit in your specialty hits the news, add to the discussion, add your commentary. Your expertise in the area will give you much to explain. For added engagement, be opinionated in your discussion. If you are open to going outside your specialty, these are the high interest categories I suggest. Criminal law, hands down. It's well covered by many profiles, but views and comments remain high for topics with lay people, that lay people will encounter. So being pulled over, drunk driving, searches, maybe gun use, more, right? Number 7, employment law. Discuss employee rights for a number of scenarios. Maybe abusive bosses, working lunches, medical leaves, overtime questions. I often see highly engaged content around pay discussions, other common kind of fact patterns. And lastly, money and the law. Money and the law, everyone is interested in this. Examples are trip cancellation refunds. How do I get that refund? Debt collection restrictions, credit restoration, warranty summaries, right? So keep this in mind when you are on your social journey. Now let's turn to today's interview. These sisters are a great example of how organic social media can quickly become a primary source of quality clients. Let's get started. Hi there, welcome back to the Grow with Cara show. Today we continue our interview series with successful attorney marketers. We're taking a close look at what's working, what's not working so well, the specific steps these attorneys took to get to where they are. And remember, these are simple steps that you too can follow to get on a similar path to growth. Okay, let's get right to it like we always do. Today, our special guests are Carmel and Camellia Imani. They are the founding attorneys of Imani Law, a business and trademark firm in Laguna Beach, California, also virtually. We're excited to have them here today. Welcome, ladies. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive in. So to start, tell us a little bit about your story. Why did you launch Imani Law?
Yeah, we actually started out both doing litigation, insurance defense. So that's how we started our legal career. Like most attorneys, you graduate from law school, you have loans that you have to pay. And so we did what everyone does, and we got our first jobs, and we were working in that world for like 3 to 4 years before we decided, you know what, we think it's time to just start our own law firm, because we were looking at other attorneys at the firm who were 10 years out, 20 years out doing this. And it's just we kind of had to figure out what type of if this was an area of law that we wanted to continue, and if not, then we should think about that now rather than later. So we decided to switch gears and start our own firm.
Smart. How did you kind of make that turn into business law?
Yeah, great question. We started looking at other areas of law that would be more transactional since we were, doing a lot of litigation, and we realized that transactional aligns more with our values in the sense that it's more preventative, and we would see when we were in litigation all the types of cases that would go to court and the types of contracts that people were not using to protect themselves, and they would end up in these situations. And we thought, you know what? We need to create a firm that is preventative and keep business owners out of the court system, because we know how much of a headache it is to be sued and to be in court.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it also aligned with us personality wise. We always knew that we wanted to help people. We always knew that we wanted to do law, but when you are in litigation, it's very adversarial. You get on the phone and opposing counsel is yelling at you. They're just, they wake up mad. And we're like, we want to be happy. We want to make people smile. We want to make people laugh while helping people. So we found that with transactional law, you get to do that more because you're helping your clients and they're just so happy to work with you, as opposed to having an opposing counsel that may or may not just be upset and want to be constantly combative.
right. It seems like a great fit. And that really comes through in the content that you're putting out, by the way, which we'll get to in just a moment, but that really does really shine through. How large is the team outside of the two of you? Do you have support staff?
We don't right now. It's just the two of us. Occasionally we will, if we need help with something, we'll outsource things here and there, but it's the two of us.
Nice, nice. At what rate about has the firm grown over the years?
It's grown really really quickly. So we started our business in 2021, and 2022 we made six figures. So we did really well, and it's just getting, with every month that goes by, we're growing rapidly. So now we're at a place where we just can't do it with just us two, and we're considering having more people on staff and having VAs that work with us, because it's a lot in a good way.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good problem to have, a growing pain, right? But I think that's the exact point that a lot of the attorneys watching this are at, right? As you realize that if you're going to scale, if you're going to grow past kind of where you are, what is that next step? What is that next hire? Who's going to help you, kind of not be the bottleneck in that growth, right? So I think that's a pivotal point. That's great. What's fueling your growth now? How are you marketing the firm? How are clients finding you?
Yeah, I would say predominantly majority of our clients say that they found us on TikTok. So social media and TikTok specifically has been a major traffic growth for us.
And how are new clients coming to you through TikTok? Are they ingesting your content, watching your videos, then sort of reaching out? Like, tell me specifically kind of how that's happening and how it's become a lead driver for you.
Yeah, there's a couple ways. Some people will just watch a bunch of our videos, and then we'll wake up and we'll see that we have a consultation booked, and someone will say, we've seen a lot of your content, so they've booked the call. Other people will there's a button where you can just click as a lead. And so they'll just say, I'm a business owner, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. And so we'll respond to that. We'll kind of nurture them and see what they need and how we can help them. And then sometimes people will just email us and again say, hey, this is what I need. And then we'll kind of go from there. But I'd say a lot of people just kind of book through the consult link because they see so much of our information. So they know how we can help them and what we do. So they're ready to move forward.
Yeah, and that's smart that you have that consult, that strategy link, so they can just self-set that appointment directly from your social profiles, right, in that link tree. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, exactly. So everything is like funneled through. So everybody goes through the same channels, even though they contact us in different, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok, they all go to the same Calendly link, which is the consult link. And that's how we start everybody off.
Smart. Give us an idea of volume, about how many of these inquiries are you getting, per month or per week?
It varies monthly. Camellia, would you know more of the numbers?
Yeah, I mean, we get at least 5 consults a week, and then with every week after that, varies. So sometimes it's the minimum, sometimes we're, booked in a great way. But it really varies, and I think that's part of being a business owner is sometimes you're like, what's going on? Like all of a sudden you're not getting the same traffic, and then other times you're like, I don't know what to do.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. That's great lead flow. That's good. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about your start on social media. Did you start on TikTok?
No, we got on TikTok like
Late.
how long ago? Like really
We,
recent.
yeah, we started last year in June, so it hasn't even been a year.
Wow,
Yeah,
and you have almost 20,000 followers. That's amazing.
yeah, and on
Yeah.
Instagram, and this is good to know for other attorneys too, is we started on Instagram because everyone's familiar with Instagram. It's been around for so long, and that's where we went first. And on Instagram, the rate that you're growing on Instagram is 10 times slower than TikTok because TikTok really pushes your content out to everyone, and Instagram is more, I mean, it's changed over time, but it predominantly shows you to people who already follow you and it doesn't push you out into the world versus TikTok does that. And I think that's one reason why we just saw more of a massive growth. So I really think if you're an attorney to really get onto the TikTok platform, if you had to choose one.
Yeah, that's good advice. What do you see a difference in sort of lead quality from Instagram to TikTok?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I with TikTok, we rarely have people who book on our questionnaire on Calendly when they book, it says, "How did you hear from us?" And it's predominantly people who find us through TikTok. With Instagram, we find that most people will message us and will need a little bit more nurturing before they book, and they do book, but it's more nurturing versus with TikTok, they're, like they're ready to go.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
What topics did you begin with, and has it sort of evolved? Is it different from what you're covering now?
Yeah, so with both platforms, we kind of started with the basics, but with TikTok, it was so foreign for both of us. We're millennials. We grew up with Instagram. TikTok was a whole new world. So when we started, it was very basic. Here's what a trademark is. Here's how a trademark can protect you. And as we grew and we got more familiar with the platform, then we started branching out into, hey, as entrepreneurs, here's a website we really like. So it's a little bit more holistic now versus here's an LLC, here's what it does for you. So yeah, it's a little bit more holistic now.
And we also we take people's comments into consideration before, you're posting the video. And now when we read the comments and we're like, oh, people are asking like more specific, we should talk, if everyone's asking us about this, then we should definitely make a video on that. So we really take in and pay attention to what people are asking for and then produce content around that.
Smart, smart. So you're gaining inspiration from your followers, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What topics specifically are performing best for you now? Can you think of even a recent video that performed particularly well?
Yeah, I've noticed every time we talk about LLCs versus S corps, those videos often do really well. And so it tells us that there's a lot of confusion out there about these two topics, about what's online. So we try to, every time we make a video on it, we see the feedback like Carmel said in the comments, and sometimes people are still a little bit confused. So we're like, okay, we'll make another video breaking it down even more because we want people to know, we want to educate people. So, and we know there's a lot of confusing information out there. So we try to make it more and more, which, it's part of making content, right? The first time you make it, it's not going to be your best. So, the first video we did on LLCs versus S corps, it did really well, but then people still had questions. So with that topic, we try to break it down more and more each time because we know that people are really hungry for this information. And since we have the answers, we want to educate people.
Smart. Are you shooting videos in batches? How often are you typically shooting?
We don't batch. And I know that's atypical. I feel like everybody we know is has made batch contenting, but we don't. We kind of just feel like, okay, we can do it, but I don't know. I think that might be something that we could look into. I don't know what your thoughts are on Carmel.
Yeah, it's more like when you're in that mood of filming a video for that topic, then we film it that day and time and then post it right away. We don't sit on it or batch. But I can see why people do that. It could be more time effective in the sense that you're recording a bunch and then later on throughout the week posting it.
And I think part of it too is that for us with our job, it's always been very logical, especially being a litigator. So now we have this component where we get to be creative and we get to have fun. And so when we're in the moment and we're creating the content, it's a lot. That's what it is. It's fun as opposed to, oh, okay, this is a part of my job. I have to do this. We're like, okay, I'm going to film this today. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about. So I think it keeps that creativity and fun going with it when we don't batch it. And I think that's why I haven't, started batching the content.
I like that. I like that. It's more organic. Yeah. How are you shooting? Are you shooting yourselves? Do you have a videographer who's handling the editing, the posting?
No, it's just our iPhones. Our iPhones, and shooting will be either like taking a walk, or I'll just be sitting down at my office. Like it's very relaxed, very or like I'll be in my kitchen or something. It's not set up in any way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a common objection I hear from attorneys that I speak with is, well, I don't have the proper equipment. I don't have the lighting. I don't have the microphone, but it sounds like obviously that high production value not only may not be necessary, but actually may, feel less authentic, less genuine. Have you found that to sort of be the
Yeah,
case?
I mean, I'll tell you, I was like that in the beginning, and that's what actually kept us for such a long time. Is I was like, oh well, being in front of a camera, that's a little bit, it's a little weird, it's just like uncomfortable, and I don't have, the right equipment. I had all these reasons. And then I was like, you know what, TikTok, and because I was consuming a lot of content on TikTok myself, just personally, and I was noticing that it's not like Instagram. It's not where you have to be perfect. You can show up, however you want to show up, and it's completely fine. It has nothing to do with, as long as you're putting the content out there and just getting started, that is the most important thing. So my biggest takeaway is you just have to get started, and your first one is going to be embarrassing. When I look at the first video I made, I was like, oh my God, when I look at it now, I'm like, that was so bad, but I had to get started. So it's just getting started.
I think also that's why it depends on what you want to do. If you had like a YouTube channel and that's how you're marketing, then I would invest in quality, right? Because that matters. But with TikTok, you can be authentic. You can there are attorneys who do well and they're just sitting in their PJs. I mean, people really just want to know you and how you can help them. So if you're someone who doesn't have the equipment or says like, look, I just want to be in my pajamas, then TikTok is really the platform to be on, because you don't have to the whole point is to show up authentically. So
Yeah, just do it. I love it. Just start.
yeah.
Are you putting any money into boosting any posts or social advertising at all at this point?
We recently started doing that for Instagram, and we're going to start soon advertising on TikTok, but we haven't done that yet. We used to do ads through Google, and honestly, I found that was that didn't really get us anywhere. I felt like we just spent a lot of money, and the leads that were coming in, it was people who didn't really know what we did. So we kind of put ads to the side and then just focused on organic growth. But I think we're going to start doing the TikTok ads and diving deeper into it.
Great.
Yeah, it's true, because with Google, we realized it was a lot of price shopping. So people were just calling just for a price,
Sure.
versus on Instagram and TikTok, they already know you, they've already seen you, and they know they want your services. They know exactly what you do. And so that's our ideal client. So we realized we need to put our money in those areas, but we haven't yet spent money on ads on TikTok.
Got it. Tell us about even if they're preliminary, kind of the Instagram ads that you're running. Are you boosting posts, or are you actually running traditional ads?
No, we're just boosting. And when we do boost, it's not, I wouldn't say that it generates leads as what we would think it would have. So we try it out. Sometimes I'm like, this posted well, let me boost it. And then I'll boost it. And then after a couple days, we're not really getting any traction there. So then I pause the ad. So long story short, we're realizing that organically, when we're not paying for ads, it's actually, we're getting so many leads just by not doing that. So.
Right. You mentioned the sort of Google Ads experiment, right? You were paying a lot, not getting much return. Have you tried any other marketing tests like that that maybe didn't return get the results you were looking for?
I think we just did Google Ads because that's what attorney said that would be the best. So we did that. And when it didn't work, I was like, okay, Carmel, we need to get on TikTok. We need to get a better, we need to get a larger audience in front of a larger audience and kind of show how we can help them and what we can do. So, yeah, that's when I moved towards doing the organic social media, non-paid advertising.
It's really amazing how social media is truly leveling the playing field for so many of these small law firms that I talk to. A large advertiser has just as much chance of success on TikTok as does, the solo and small law firm. So it's really, there's so much opportunity, and it's cool to see, your approach for sure. Tell us about, I wanted to ask a little bit more about your link tree, the series of links that you have included in your social profiles. Obviously, that top link is a schedule strategy call. It sounds like you're getting, at least, I think you said five, was it five a week?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
At least 5 a week, right? That's great. But also you have a link to trademark my brand. You have a landing page for that. You offer a free legal checklist, kind of as a freebie, a giveaway, a lead magnet. Tell us about how those two are performing.
Yeah, we get a lot of people getting the freebie. And so once they get the freebie, it automatically goes to their inbox as a PDF. And then from there, we have their email address. So it goes into our list of potential clients who are looking at working with us potentially, since they've seen our content. So we have that list as well.
Are you doing anything to kind of keep in touch with that list on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, we use Active Campaign. And so we have like an email series. They'll get email series 1, 2, and kind of so that they know more about us and what we can offer. So we have an email flow that we'll send to them after that.
Smart. Are you on any other platforms? Talked about TikTok and Instagram. Are you anywhere else?
We have a LinkedIn. We don't post much on it, but it's so hard to keep in track of all of them. I think Carmel mainly takes Instagram. I take TikTok, but those are the main ones.
And YouTube. We just, we have a YouTube account.
Right.
And what's great about YouTube is now they have YouTube Shorts. And so you can recycle your content from TikTok. And so what we'll do is we'll take the videos from TikTok, and we have a download link that I think attorneys might find really useful, where it will download the video without the watermark, without the TikTok watermark, and we'll upload it to YouTube.
Nice. Yeah.
And so once it gets uploaded to YouTube, it's there. But we're new to YouTube, and we're looking to actually start posting actual videos for YouTube.
Yeah, being able to repurpose that content is huge. Yeah.
And reach a different audience, because we understand people who are on TikTok may not be on YouTube, and so to reach a more of an audience, we're going to definitely expand to YouTube. But as far as those platforms, those are the major ones that we're on.
Yeah, great. What about your website? Are you getting much traffic on the site? I see that you have a blog there. Do you spend much time updating the site?
No.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. I kind of
we spend most of our time on just really on these social media platforms, and less on our website.
Yeah.
But we do have our landing pages in case people want more information about our trademarks. We have everything that's included on that landing page.
Nice, smart. What about any other marketing or events to kind of get in front of entrepreneurs or to connect with entrepreneurs, community events? Are you doing anything like that?
Yeah, sometimes we'll have a lot of organizations reach out to us and ask if we can speak for them. We've had a couple ask to be on podcasts, and sometimes, honestly, there are some that I've reached out to. I found that they'll have like a client base that could utilize our services, and yeah, it's just sometimes it's a good match. So I'll sometimes reach out, and that's been, not everybody says yes, but a lot of people have, and so sometimes you just got to put yourself out there as well.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up, ladies, I always like to ask, if a lawyer watching only has time to adopt 1, maybe 2 of your tips, what would you recommend?
I have so much to say on this. My tip would be, Well, first of all, I would say just start, because, you know, that's always that's truly, I know everyone says it, but it really is the hardest step, because once you start, you keep going. But I would really recommend TikTok. And the reason I recommend it is because at the end of the day, there's a lot of lawyers. There's a lot of lawyers who do what you do, and people want to work with you because they could go to anyone to get their LLC, their trademark, or whatever type of law these lawyers are practicing. But with TikTok, what's unique about it is that not only can you put videos where you explain the law and you can help people, but also you can follow trends. And when you follow the trends, you're showing your personality. And one comment we get a lot during our consults is people will say, oh, we really like your vibe, or we really wanted to work with you guys. So with a platform like TikTok, it's not just like a website where someone comes in and they just see a bunch of people in suits. They get to see, you know, what your humor is, what you're interested in. And so they connect with you, and then they want to work whenever they're ready to go forward with the service, it's you that they want to go with. And then it also is great because then you have a community and you get to correspond with people and kind of, yeah, you can make great connections that way. But you get to be yourself, and it's really great because you get to showcase your personality and who you are. And I think that's really unique.
I think that's great advice. And, you know, not only showcase your personality, distinguish yourself. I love that, you know, you guys you obviously are avid travelers. You bring travel into, you know, your hobbies and your passions. Was that, did you start off offering, you know, offering that type of content, or was that something that you kind of worked into? Because I love it. It's the travel on the cheap, basically. You know, these great trips, and how can I afford to do this? Well, how did that kind of work its way into the mix?
Yeah, it's funny because I initially wanted to make a separate page. It's something travel hacking is something I'm super passionate about. So I thought about making a separate page for that, but then I thought, okay, well, it's part of my personality. So why not show people? Because no matter if you have a business or not, you're going to be interested in this. And second, since a lot of our clients, you know, you need a business credit card, I thought, okay, well, that goes hand in hand because you need a business credit card. Travel hacking is with credit cards, including business cards. So let me find a way to mesh those together so I can reach a platform and tell them about this thing that's like it's a great way to travel, you know?
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
our whole page is really dedicated to education and inspiring people. So we thought we need to, if this is going to be inspirational, let's put it on, and we'll share how to do these things with our audience. And so that would be my tip, is to, when you're creating content, go back to the purpose of it, and the purpose should always be to educate and inspire, and be detached from you know, wanting to get clients, and just know that if you're just showing up in that way, it'll organically come.
I love that. Educate, inspire. What's better than that? Thanks, Carmel. Thanks, Camellia. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your experience. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Some really good takeaways from this one. Here are the key takeaways that I see. Number one, organic social media leads are the highest quality leads. Organic leads know what you provide and want to obtain that service from you. They're not price or lawyer shopping. Of all the marketing channels, including PPC, TV, radio, billboards, even SEO, organic social media delivers the best leads, and those leads are completely free. Number two, the Imani's appointments are prepaid. We didn't really delve into this fact in the interview. That was my bad. But if you examine the Imani's link tree, you'll see that every type of 30-minute appointment actually costs $155. So that doesn't matter if, you know, the prospect is inquiring about asset protection, business formation, copyright, or a trademark. They must prepay to speak with Carmel or Camellia. That screening makes the appointments and leads especially valuable and high quality. Number three, TikTok follower growth can occur rapidly. My guests have varied in their platform preferences. Many have said their higher quality leads actually come from Instagram, but lately TikTok has really been the favorite. And both of my recent business guests, the Imani's today and Andrea Sager a few weeks ago, have preferred TikTok over Instagram specifically. And number four, posting about a hobby or your personal life can really be helpful. The Imani's are the fourth and fifth lawyers I've interviewed who include travel posts on their business pages. Remember Jason Melton? We talked to him a few months ago. He's wildly successful on social media, and a new location seems to appear on many of his videos and is sort of woven into his topics. The Imani's focus on the corporate card travel benefits. That's a smart angle given its availability to many business owners, but really the important marketing takeaway here is letting viewers into part of your personal life further cements that tie between you and the prospects. I hope you found my interview with Carmel and Camellia inspirational and motivating like I did. Next week's interview will take us through a technique for going viral, low-cost influencer marketing, and building upon the relationships you already have. Thanks so much for being here. Keep marketing. Have a great day. Bye-bye.